Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going over and showing you how to install the CURT T-connector trailer wiring harness here on our 2021 Mazda CX-5. So a trailer wiring harness is just one of the few components we're going to need to tow a trailer with our vehicle here. Now what the trailer wiring harness does is it transfers the lights from the vehicle to our trailer. Now some of our larger trailers are going to block the lights on the vehicle here when we're traveling out on the road. Therefore, we need a way to still signal other motorists and let them know what we're doing so we can get to our destination safe and sound. So this kit here comes with a standard 4-pole flat trailer connector. Now this is going to be the most common and most widely used, so chances are this is what you have. The 4-pole transmits the left and right stop and turn signal circuits as well as the running light circuits. I will say some larger trailers, they have what's known as a 7-way trailer connector, and that's one of the other more common ones. However, these are more commonly found on your larger trailers with electric brakes. So if you do have one of those and you need to tow it, you can actually purchase an adapter here at eTrailer to utilize the 4-pole that you have installed and then adapt this to a 7-way so you can tow some larger trailers. So our wiring harness here is what's known as a powered harness. Now this does a couple different things. Number one, we're not actually powering the trailer lights from the vehicle's tail lights. We're actually pulling that power from the battery. And what this also allows us to do is, we're not going to have to worry about any issues with the trailer lights affecting our vehicle lights. So in regards to installation, I wouldn't say that this is difficult at all to install. It's just going to take you a little bit of time and the right tools. However, a basic hand tool set will probably allow you to get this job done without any issue. We can actually go ahead and walk you through this entire process step by step now. So the first step of our installation, we're going to be opening the rear hatch on our vehicle here, and you're probably going to want to fold the back seats down, but we're going to take our floor covering here, simply fold it back and flip it out of the way. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take all these little foam padding, these coverings out on the side here surrounding our spare tire. We're going to be removing all of those. Next, we're going to be removing our threshold panel. If we look inside the vehicle here on either side, we're going to have one push pin fastener. We'll simply just remove it like so. Now we can pull up and out on our panel. Now, starting on the driver's side, if we come down to the corner here, we're going to have another push pin fastener. Remove that. Then what we're going to do next is inside here, we're going to have a cargo hook. You can see the cargo hook there. So we're going to take a pick tool, and we're going to pry on the bottom of that panel there to lift it up. Then we'll take a 10mm socket to remove it. Next, we're going to come up here to our seat handle release. So we're going to pry that handle back. Then again, take our pick tool to reveal this cover here. And inside there, we're going to have a Phillips head screw. And then in the top right corner of our panel here, we're going to have another Phillips head screw. So now if we look down from that fastener just removed, we're going to have another cargo hook here. We'll take the same 10mm socket we used earlier to remove this. Now we're ready to take our panel here and pry it out away from the vehicle. We don't need to remove it completely, just give ourselves enough room to work. So now once we peel the panel back, now directly inside here we should see a white and black connector. So this is for our taillight. We need to separate these two. There's going to be a tab at the top here we need to depress to release the locks. Now that tab is pretty hard to press, so I just use a screwdriver to push it in, and then once you hear it release, you can pull the connector out. So now we're going to take our wiring harness here with our yellow connector. We're simply going to plug these in line with the pigtails we just removed. We should hear it click when it's locked into place. Next, we'll take the self-tapping screw that comes in our kit here, find a bare metal spot on the vehicle, and secure our ground. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the green wire here that has the 2 pigtails. We're going to route this down and over to the passenger side, and then we're going to repeat the same steps that we did to remove this panel here over on that side, and then make the same connection as well. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our trim panel tool, and over here on the driver's side on the bottom of the floor there, you're going to see we have a nice and large grommet. We're going to go ahead and pry that up. And what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be taking a razor knife. I'm going to cut a slit in this grommet. That way we can pass through our trailer connector and our power wire. So I'm just going to take the center there. And we're just going to cut right through it, just like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the power wire that comes in our kit here. I'm going to unravel it, and I'm actually going to feed it from the bottom first up into that hole we just made so we can bring it up in here. Now the reason I want to do this is because preferably I would like the butt connector we used to attach these 2 wires to remain up inside the vehicle here, so we don't have to worry about it getting wet and causing any corrosion issues. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut off some of this extra wire, or we could just pull it back down through. And then I'm going to crimp it on a butt connector and attach it to the power lead coming from our converter box. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take our trailer connector here. I'm going to feed that down through the hole that we removed the grommet from previously, and just simply fish down the rest of our wire. Next, we're going to secure our converter box. So in your kit, you're going to get this double-sided pad here. We're going to stick one of it on the back side of the converter, press it on there nice and firm so it sticks correctly. I'll peel the other side off, and we'll find a nice flat surface in here to attach it to. Now we'll just simply re-secure our grommet, passing the wires through the slit that we made earlier. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to re-secure all the panels and flooring here inside the vehicle. If you guys want at home, you could wait yourselves until you test everything out. That way you can make sure it's working. You don't have to pull any of the panels back off. It's totally up to you. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 4-pole connector and we're going to route it near the trailer hitch. So the wiring harness is going to come out down here in this area here, just directly above there is where our grommet is. But all we did was we went up and over the flange here for our hitch, and then we actually have it zip tied to the top of the cross tube for our hitch here. We have some excess slack tied up there as well, and now we have our trailer connector coming down here. Now you need to be careful when you're zip tying your wire up there because we are right by the exhaust, so you want to make sure it's nice and secure to the cross tube of the hitch. But now we can go ahead and secure the trailer connector to the trailer hitch using the included dust cap that comes in your kit here. So we'll just simply wrap it around there like so, and then we can stick it on. And now finally we can run our power wire up to the vehicle's battery. You can see it coming out the grommet here. We have it coming over, up and above the subframe, all the way over to here. We have a little flange here on the gas tank with a hole I have it zip tied to keep it secure. And then what I did is actually drop down this panel just a little bit. I just removed a few fasteners. You'll get a 10mm socket, and there's one nut here. If you work your way along, there's a push pin fastener here, and then there's a bolt here, and then here. And once you get those removed, you should be able to drop this panel down a little bit and just tuck your wire behind this. And this is going to get us all the way to up here. You can see our power wire here. Now, in order to get it up into the engine bay where our battery is, we had to go up top of the engine bay, and we took a piece of Airline tubing and we just shoved that down behind the firewall until it came out this area here. Then I taped up my wire to that Airline tubing and then pulled the Airline tubing back into the engine bay, bringing our wire up along with it. So our wire is going to come up somewhere around here. You can see where we already have ours attached to the fuse holder using one of the butt connectors that comes in your kit here. And then the other side of the fuse holder, you're going to crimp on a ring terminal, and we're going to attach that to the stud coming off our battery. You'll need a 12mm socket to remove that nut. Then you'll place the ring terminal over the stud and then re-secure the nut. But that's pretty much it. Now we're going to insert our fuse so we can test everything out. So now we're going to go ahead and use a plug-in 4-pole tester. If you have your trailer nearby, feel free to use that as well. Just make sure that there are any issues on the trailer, or else they'll carry over to our testing for the vehicle. We do sell these 4-pole testers here at eTrailer as well. So we're going to test our brakes, our left turn, our right turn, and then our running lights. So there we go. Now we know everything's working correctly and we're ready to go. And that's going to do it today for our look and installation of the CURT T-connector trailer wiring harness here on our 2021 Mazda CX-5.